Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to our online learning initiative.
Today we are going to discuss magnetic field on the axis of a circular current loop. So, already we have learnt about Biot-Savart's law. So, by using the Biot-Savart's law, today we are going to find what is the magnetic field on the axis of a circular current loop. Let us assume this is a current carrying circular loop. So, let us assume I be the steady current which is flowing through the circular loop. Okay, and let us assume this will be our x-axis and this is our y-axis and this is our z-axis. And this is the center of the circular coil. Let O be the center of the circular coil. And today we are going to find what is the magnetic field at this point P. Okay, so here we are going to find what is the strength of the magnetic field. So let it be P. Okay, so in order to find what is the magnetic field at this point P, we are going to use Biot-Savart's law. Okay, so I told you that here the steady current which is flowing along this direction. Okay, now let us assume the loop which is placed in YZ plane. So YZ plane. The loop is placed in the YZ plane with its center at the origin O. Okay. So now let us assume what is the radius. See here R be the radius. Okay. So let us assume R be the radius of the circular loop. The x-axis is the axis of the loop. So this is our x-axis, which is the axis of the loop. And we want to find what is the strength of the magnetic field at this point P, which is on this axis. Okay. And let us assume x be the distance of the point P from the center O of the loop. Okay. So, in order to find what is the magnetic field at this point P, we are going to assume a current element, that is small element. Okay. So, let us assume this will be the small element dl. Okay. So, we know very well that this dl which has direction. Okay. Similarly, you assume here also. So, one element, small element dl. Okay. Yes. So, the magnitude dB. So, we know that the strength of the magnetic field which is represented by the letter capital B. Okay. So, here we assumed a small element. So, the magnitude will be taken as small dB. Okay. So, the magnitude dB of the magnetic field. Okay. The magnitude dB of the magnetic field due to the element dl, which will be given by Biot-Savart's law. So, we are going to write what is this dB here, children. Okay. So, let me write dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I, because I be the scalar quantity. Okay. So, write modulus dl vector cross r vector divided by r cube. Okay. So let us consider this is our equation number 1. So already you all are familiar with this expression because you have learned this Bio-Savart's law already. Okay. So dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl cross r divided by r cube here. Okay, children? Yes. Now we are going to find what is the value, that is the strength of the magnetic field here. So now let us assume this point, that is this element dl, which is at a distance of r. So the point P, which is at a distance of r from this element. So this is our r. So okay. So from this diagram, so here we are going to write what is this? What is this distance r? Okay. Because we know that x be the distance of this point P from the center. And already we know that capital R be the radius. So we need to calculate what is this r. Okay. So from this diagram, we can write what is this r. R square is equal to, we are going to use the Pythagoras theorem here, children. So r square is equal to x square plus capital R square. Okay. So, and one more thing is very important, children, here. That is, here any element of the loop, okay, so whatever may be the element, any element of the loop will be perpendicular to the displacement vector from the element to the axial point. Okay, so now let us assume the element dl, this element dl, this element dl which is in the yz plane, where this element is there, so this element dl which is in yz plane. Okay, whereas the displacement vector, that is this r vector from dl to the axial point p, which is in the xy plane. Okay, so you can write that dl vector, that is this dl vector cross r vector, modulus dl cross a vector cross r vector. So you can write it as this is equal to r into dl. Okay, because the angle between this dl vector and r vector is 90 degrees. So we know that what is sine 90? Sine 90 is 1. Because if it is a cross product, we will write it as dl r sine theta. Okay, so here theta is 90 degree. So sine 90 is 1. So we can write that r dl. Okay, so we are going to substitute this value in our equation. So can you write it as dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl r divided by r cube. Okay, so what will you get here? This r and r get cancelled, so you will get r square in the denominator, children. Okay, so we are going to substitute this value for this r square, because already we found this r square as x square plus capital R square, right? So can you write it as u naught by 4 pi I dl divided by x square plus r square. Okay, so this is the magnitude of this magnetic field. So dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi IDL divided by x square plus r square. Okay, so take this is your equation number 2, children. Hope you all of you understood up to this, right? So here also you can draw the direction of the current also here, so it will be like this. Okay, yes. Now one more thing is very important here, children. The direction of dB. So what is the direction of the magnetic field here at this point? Okay. So here the direction of the magnetic field at this point due to this current element will be given by along this direction, children. This is again very important. Okay. Look at the direction. DL is along this direction and this is the displacement vector. But this is our direction of magnetic field. Okay. So this is very important and it makes an angle theta here. Okay. This is the direction of the magnetic field due to this current element. Similarly, you can draw what is the direction of the magnetic field due to this current element. It will be along this direction. Okay. Clear? So this dB will be resolved into two components. So you will have horizontal component and vertical component. That is, one component will be along the x-axis and one more component will be along the y-axis. Okay. So I am going to write this as my dBx or dBx. That is the component which is along the x direction. Okay, so shall I write here as dBx? Yes. This is the component along the x-axis. And I have one more perpendicular component, that is which is along the y-axis also. So this is my dB, y or perpendicular, whatever it is. Okay, so perpendicular component. Similarly, here also, because I told you that magnetic field due to this current element, again which will be resolved into two components. One will be along the x-axis and another one will be along the y-axis. So actually it is like this. Okay, so this will be our dB perpendicular component. Okay, children. So this is very important part here, children. So this point is P and one will be, that is you are resolving this into two components. That is, one will be along the x-axis and another one is along the y-axis. Okay. So here we are going to add that is look at this perpendicular component. This perpendicular component are equal in magnitude but opposite direction. So these two components get cancelled out. Okay. So no contribution due to this perpendicular component. So we are going to add only the horizontal, that is only the component which is along the x-axis. Okay. So what is the net contribution along x direction? So this can be taken as only we have, what do we have? We don't have this perpendicular component. We have only the component along the x-axis. Okay, so dBx is equal to, okay, so this angle. So actually you can also taken like this. You can consider this x component will be dB cos theta and this y component or perpendicular component will be dB sin theta. So this dB sin theta and dB sin theta get cancelled, children. You have only dB cos theta alone. So dBx is equal to dB cos theta. Okay. So from this diagram we can also write what is cos theta. What is cos theta, children? I think all of you are able to write this cos theta, right? So cos theta is equal to capital R divided by x square plus r square, the whole power half. Okay. So this is our cos theta. Okay. So now what are we going to do? We are going to substitute the value of dB and cos theta in this equation. Okay. So let us substitute the value of dB from the second equation and similarly the value of cos theta from the third equation. So when you substitute it, what will you get, children? So here you can write dBx, that is along the x-axis. Okay, dB. What is your dB? Mu naught by 4 pi I dl by x square plus r square. Right? Yes. Now what do you have? Cos theta. So you are going to write here, children, into cos theta is r divided by x square plus r square the whole power half. Okay, so what will you get now? Mu naught by 4 pi I, keep this r here children. I'll tell you why we are bringing this r here. Then x square. So this is power 1, this is power half. So what you will get? X square plus r square the whole power 3 by 2. So here in the numerator you have 1 dl. So let it be dl here. Okay. Yes. So we arrived this equation. Okay. That is this expression. So now what is our intention? So this dBx is the small, that is strength of the magnetic field due to this small element. But look at the diagram. We have so many elements in this current loop in this coil, right? So similarly you can also divide into n number. So dl small, so many dl will be there. Actually when you add all the dl, what you will get children? You will get the complete length of the circular loop. Actually the complete length of the circular loop, which is nothing but the circumference, right? So what we are going to do here, instead of this del, that is dl, when you add everything, what you will get? The summation of elements dl over the loop, which will give you 2 pi r. So that is the circumference of the loop. Okay. So shall I take the new page now? Yes. So the magnetic field. So what we are going to do here, we are going to consider the entire circular loop. So the entire circular loop means the dl will become L. So L is equal to 2 pi r. Okay. So because you all are familiar with all these things, that is why I am writing. The magnetic field at a point P due to entire loop. Okay. So I'll write here the magnetic field at P due to entire circular loop. Okay, not a small element. Entire circular loop is B is equal to, along in which direction you have? You have along the x-axis. Okay, so can you write it as I cap? Yes, you will get mu naught I divided by R you take. Okay, then what do you have to do? 4 pi, you have x square plus r square the whole power 3 by 2. Then instead of L alone, we are going to write 2 pi r. Okay. 2 pi r. Okay. Along the x-axis, so I cap here. Okay. So now you can do all these things. So pi and pi get cancelled. Then 4, 2 will get cancelled. So you will get only 2 here. So you can write it as mu naught I r and r. So will become r square divided by 2 into x square plus r square the whole power 3 by 2. Okay, I have. Okay, so this is very important children. This is the magnetic field on the axis of a circular current loop. Now, we are going to do one more special case here children, which is very interesting. We are going to find if the value of x is equal to 0. So this is the special case. Okay. So the special case we are going to do here if x is equal to 0. So at the center, okay, what will be the magnetic field? So you can write that magnetic field B, that is at the center. So I am writing this as because our center is 2, right? So I have taken this as 2.2. So u naught I r square divided by, I am going to substitute x is 0. So when I substitute x is equal to 0, what you will get? R square the whole power 3 by 2. Okay. So this 2 and 2 get cancelled. So in the denominator we will have only R2, right? So mu naught I R square divided by 2 R2. So again this square and this one gets cancelled. What you will get then? Mu naught I divided by 2R. Okay. So this is very important, children. What is the magnetic field at the center of the circular loop? Okay, mu naught I by 2R. Okay, so this is very important, children. The magnetic field line due to a circular wire form closed loop. The direction of the magnetic field is given by right hand thumb rule. According to right hand thumb rule, curl the palm of your right hand around the circular wire with the fingers pointing in the direction of the current. The right hand thumb, which gives the direction of the magnetic field. The upper side of the loop will be considered as north pole and the lower side as the south pole of a magnet. So, the upper side, which will be considered as the north pole, and the lower side will be taken as the south pole of a magnet. And one more thing is also very important here, children. Current loop, which behaves as a magnetic dipole. Okay, so current loop which behaves like a magnetic dipole. The face of the coil in which current appears to flow in anti-clockwise. So here the current which appears to flow in anti-clockwise. Okay, so anti-clockwise, which acts as magnetic north pole, and the face of the coil in which current appears to flow in clockwise acts as the magnetic south pole. But in both the cases, the magnetic field at the center of the coil is along the normal to the plane of the coil. So, today we discussed about magnetic field on the axis of a circular current loop, and also we discussed about right hand thumb rule. Hope you all of you enjoyed this class. Thank you, students.